तेनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणे। विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। Chant the Shanti Mantra, the chant of Om Apyayantu Mamangani. Om Apyayantu Mamangani. Vak Pranashchakshushrotramatho Balamindriyani cha sarvani. Vak Pranashchakshushrotramatho Balamindriyani cha sarvani. Sarvam Brahmopanishadam. Sarvam Brahmopanishadam. Maham Brahma Nirakuryam. Maham Brahma Nirakuryam. Ma Brahma Nirakarot. Ma Brahma Nirakarot. Anirakaranamastu anirakaranam me astu. Anirakaranamastu anirakaranam me astu. Tadatmani nirateya upanishatsu dharmaha. Tadatmani nirateya upanishatsu dharmaha. Te mai santo, te mai santo. Te mai santo, te mai santo. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We'll chant the first mantra. Please repeat. Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha. Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha. Kena prana pratama praiti yuktaha. Kena prana pratama praiti yuktaha. Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti. Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti. Chakshushrotram ka udevo yunakti. Chakshushrotram ka udevo yunakti. Shrotrasya shrotram manaso manoyat. Shrotrasya shrotram manaso manoyat. Vacho havacham sa upranasya pranah. Vacho havacham sa upranasya pranah. Chakshushaschakshuratimucya dhiraah. Chakshushaschakshuratimucya dhiraah. Pretyasmalokadamrita bhavanti. Pretyasmalokadamrita bhavanti. Na tatra chakshurgacchati. Na tatra chakshurgacchati. Na vagacchati. Na vagacchati. No manaha. No manaha. Na vidmaha. Na vidmaha. Na vijanimaha. Na vijanimaha. Yathaitatadअनुशिष्यात्. Yathaitatadनुशिष्यात्. Anyadeva tadviditat. Anyadeva tadviditat. Atho aviditat adhi. Atho aviditat adhi. Iti shushruva purvesham. Iti shushruva purvesham. Yena stadvyacha chakshire. Yena stadvyacha chakshire. Yadvachanabhyuditam. Yadvachanabhyuditam. Yena vagabhyudyate. Yena vagabhyudyate. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. Nedam yadidam pasate. Nedam yadidam pasate. So this is where we stopped yesterday. Right? So the Shishya wants to learn from the Guru. Huh? So can I see this? No. Na tatra chakshur gacchati. Can you speak about it? Navagachati. No. Eyes cannot go there, you cannot see it. Words cannot describe it. Can I think about it? No, manaha. Mind cannot think about it. Do you know it? Na vedmaha. We don't know it. And we also don't know how to teach it. But we can tell you one thing. Anyat eva tad viditat atho aviditat adhi. It is different from the known and it's different from the unknown. And this is how we have learned it from our teachers, from our parampara. So in mantra 3, it's different from the known and it's different from the unknown. And there we saw 3 levels, right? The first level is it's different from known, meaning it's not an object. It's not an object of our experience. It's not some known thing. And it's different from the unknown, meaning it's not unknown because it's I. And I am ever known. So it's not known as an object and it's not unknown to me because it is I. It is I, my true self. First level. Second level. It is different from the known, meaning the gross and the subtle bodies, which are known through perception, through seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and thoughts are known through consciousness. So it's different from that which is known, the gross body and the subtle body, and different from that which is unknown. Unknown is the causal body, or Maya or avidya, ignorance, which is unknown to us because it's the cause of everything. So it's different from the known, different from the unknown. Third level is different from the known, meaning it's different from knowledge. And it's different from the unknown, meaning it's different from ignorance. So there were many questions about this, so I just wanted to expound on this a little bit more today. See, there's an example that Gurudev gives, the post and the ghost. You're all familiar with that example. That there is some kind of post on a dark night, and because you can't see clearly, we think that that post is a ghost. It's something, scary, that scares us. Now, so how is the ignorance of the post removed? Is the ignorance of the post, the problem is we don't know. First level, we don't know that it's a post. And we think that it's a ghost, right? So how is the ignorance removed of the post? Is it removed through the post? It's removed through the knowledge of the post. It's removed through the knowledge of the post, right? So therefore, the ignorance of the post, right, is removed from by the knowledge of the post. But by this whole thing, the post is untouched. The post it doesn't matter whether you don't know the post or you know the post just doesn't matter. Now we take that snake and the rope. So the ignorance of the rope, how is the ignorance of the rope removed? Is it removed by the rope? It's removed by the knowledge of the rope. The knowledge of the rope, right? So the knowledge of the rope is something that is known to us. The ignorance of the rope is something that was unknown to us. You're following, right? And these two, the ignorance of the rope and the knowledge of the rope has nothing to do with it. It's beyond ignorance and beyond knowledge. In the same way, the knowledge of Brahman, it removes the ignorance of Brahman, but doesn't do anything to Brahman. Brahman is untouched by it. So therefore, it is different from the known and it's different from the unknown. Yeah? And this is how it has come through parampara, tradition. Then he starts to expound on these mantras. And in mantra 4, we started seeing that yesterday. Yad vacha anabhyuditam, that which is not revealed by speech, yena vak abhyudyate, but that which reveals speech. So that which is not part of speech, that which reveals speech but cannot be revealed by speech. That which is not part of speech enables speech to speak but cannot be spoken by speech. You remember? Yeah? That eva Brahma. That alone is Brahman. Tvam vidhi, may you know that that alone is Brahman. That which enables speech to speak. Na idam, and not this. Yat idam, that which is this, upasate, that which one worships as this. So know that to be Brahman and not which one worships as this. Another way to read this statement is Tad eva Brahma, that is Brahman, and that's Tvam, that's you. So it's like a Mahavakya. That is Brahman, Tvam, and that is you. Vidhi, know that. And it's not something that we worship, we do upasana on. And so yesterday we went through the whole understanding of what upasana is and how that unfolds. We started from Eka Rupa, worshipping just one form, Aneka Rupa, to worshipping that same form in many. Like I start worshipping Saraswati Devi, and then Aneka Rupa, I see Saraswati Devi in Rama, in Krishna, in Durga. I see her in various forms. And then Vishvarupa, I see her as this entire world. And then I begin to think, wait a second. If she is seen and I am the seer, then that doesn't make sense, because then the seen depends on the seer. And when I am not there, she's not there. So she has to be something subtler. So we come to Arupa. Saraswati Devi is formless. But what is that formless Saraswati Devi? Swarupa, my own nature. So the essence of Devi and the essence of I are the same. And so upasana is supposed to come from out to in. So what we are worshipping, that is not Brahman. But that which illumines the worshipper and worshipped, that is Brahman. That is Brahman. That which illumines the worshipper and worshipped, that is Brahman. So therefore, he says, come to this reality. Does that mean that we should not worship? We should. But we saw with what bhava yesterday, that is none other than me, in essence. In essence. Now he says, now we will look through the first line. That which cannot be revealed by speech, but by which reveals speech. That which cannot be revealed by speech, but that which reveals speech, that which enables speech to speak. So for these next set of mantras, from mantra 4 to 8, I'm going to take it in a way wherein we break it down as to what to do with speech exactly. And we're going to look at it from 3 standpoints. We're going to look at it from standpoint of karma, bhakti, and jnana. Why? So that we know the sadhana at the simplest level, and then we know the sadhana at the deepest level. Okay? So what do we do with speech at the very, very basic level of karma, conducting ourselves in transactional life? What do we do with speech? We utilize speech with satya, with truthfulness. Speech in the transactional world has to be truthful. Satya. What does being truthful mean? Being truthful means that our words have to have weight. They're not weightless. Nowadays, when we get into something, we have to sign a contract. They say, yes, I will buy this house. here's a contract, sign that you will actually buy it, you will pay the money, you will do this, you will get the loan, you sign a whole contract. If we say, yes, I am going to come to this place, you will get a follow-up, an RSVP, a reminder, all of that. Why? Because words, our words have lost weight. There's no weight. Back in the day, when somebody said something, when somebody said, I will pay you in 10 years, they would show up in your house in 10 years. They would show up. You didn't have to send them reminder, email, no, they would show up. When somebody said, I will do this for you, means it's done. No need to follow up. Did you do it? Are you going to do it? Did you remember to do it? No need. That's why in Mahabharata, when Bhima said, I'm going to defeat all of the Kauravas, what happened? Dhritarashtra couldn't sleep. Because he knew if Bhima said something, that's it. It's done. It's done. So Satya means our words should have some weight in them. If we say we're going to do something, do it. And if we're not going to do something, say, I can't do it. But don't do this in between, I'm going to do it, but don't do it, and leave people guessing. Because that creates so much agitation. In the realm of karma, what we're trying to do is decrease the quantity of thoughts. We're trying to decrease it. Puja Gurudev also writes this, decrease the quantity of thoughts. So when we live a truthful life, and when we say what we're going to do, there's less chatter. There's less chatter because life is very straightforward. I said I'm going to do this, done, I'm going to do it. I said that this would happen, yes, it's going to happen. But when we live a life of asatya, where we're confused and what we think is different from what we say and what we do, it creates a lot of friction in the mind. It creates guilt, regret. I said this, but I didn't do it. I don't know what to do. Too many thoughts come. So at the karma level, what to do with speech? Speak the truth and let words have weight. And one will wonder, how is it that our great Mahatmas, when they said something, it happened? Huh? Like when Gurudev said something, it just happened. In Siddhabari, you all know that ashram, that the wind was blowing so much, and Gurudev said, bring Pavanaputra Hanumanji, and everything will be fine. And everything is fine. It's because when somebody has the habit of speaking the truth, what happens is that what they say, it becomes true. They become Satya Sankalpa. So at the karma level, speak truth. At the bhakti level, what should we do? Speak stuti. Praise. Speak words of praise. Now we praise so many people, but the best person to praise is Bhagavan, Bhagavati. Speak words of praise to Bhagavan. Devi Ahilyabai, one singer, she's a great queen, a great queen of Bharat. One singer came to her and started singing her glories. She stopped him. She said, stop. I don't want to hear any of this. If you want to sing, sing for Bhagavan. Sing for Bhagavan. Praise Bhagavan, by whom this entire world has come to be. He is worth praiseworthy. And only sing his praise. And after that, that's what the singer did. So when we think of stuti, what to do with our words, speak words of praise towards the divine. Words are so valuable. They make such a deep impression. Once they are spoken out in the atmosphere, they're vibrating everywhere. So speech at the bhakti level, speak stuti. Speak the name of Bhagavan. That name of Bhagavan has so much power that it can heal anyone. from the realm of jnana. Now, what do we do with speech? Think about where speech comes from. So in karma, we're trying to change the quantity of thoughts. In bhakti, we're trying to change the quality of thoughts. And when we speak stuti, then guess what? Whatever we speak, we're the first ones to hear. So the quality of our thoughts get enriched. In jnana, we're trying to change the direction of thoughts. So now, focus on how speech is coming. Where is it coming from? Go from the words to the letters, to the sound, to silence, to that which it all emerges from. From words to letters, to sound, to silence, to that which everything emerges from. Somebody asked Puja Gurudev once, I have to go to these parties with my husband, and I really dread them. They're these corporate parties, and I have to go with him, and I have to dress up, and I have to sit with those people and hear all of their nonsense. What should I do? Gurudev said, Shrutrasya Shrutra, Manaso Manoya. Don't pay attention to the lipstick or the makeup. Don't pay attention to the words. Just go into the source of words and get lost in it. That's all. Very beautiful. So that's what we're meant to do. Now there's a very beautiful shloka. Some people might say, how to turn my attention to the direction where I'm going to the source of all words. So there's this shloka that says, Akaradi hakarantam asheshakara samsthitam ajasram uchcharantam swadmanam sambhasmari. It means that if we look at the whole Varnamala, the whole alphabet, what's the first alphabet in Devanagari? First letter? Akara. What's the last letter? Ha. Right? Ha. So between and ha, everything comes. Right? So everything comes between and ha. And what is and ha? Aham. Aham. So whenever we are speaking anything, it's actually pointing to aham. Because all the words are within aham only. Aham means I. So imagine whenever we speak, we're doing upasana on aham, 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 I. So by these little pointers, it makes the mind subtle, so we turn. One other beautiful way is in Yajnavalkya and Gargi Samvada. And she asks him, she says, what is that truth? Can you tell me what that truth is? And he's saying, okay, if I don't say anything, she'll think that I don't know. But if I say something, I'm limiting the truth, because it cannot be described in words. So what do I do? He says, Astulam, Ahrasvam, Adirgham. He describes the truth through negation. It's not gross, it's not subtle, it's not long, it's not short. Because you cannot contain the truth. And he cannot be quiet because she might think he doesn't know the truth. So he says, it is not this, it is not that. And therefore, by negation, in the Brahmacharini Upanishad it also says, neti neti. By negation, we negate everything and we come to that infinite truth. Swami Tapovanam was once asked, was given us, he said this story. What if there's a scenario? There's a scenario that there's a great Mahatma, and he is hanging by a branch. He's clutching a branch by his teeth. Okay? And when he's clutching a branch by his teeth, he's hanging onto a branch, somebody asks him, can you tell me the truth? Now this Mahatma is what does he do? If he opens his mouth, he falls. But if he doesn't say, then he's not doing his dharma. He has to give the truth. So what should this Mahatma do? Maunam Vyakya. Just does this. Because this indicates the truth. That which is beyond the gross, subtle, causal body. When I disidentify from the three bodies and I come to realize who I am, that is Tattvamasi. So like this, even through speech, we can turn the direction to the source of speech through that subtlety. Okay? Now we'll go to the next one. Mantra number 5. Yan manasa na manute. Yan manasa na manute. Yena urmano matam. Yena urmano matam. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. Nedam yadidam upasate. Nedam yadidam upasate. Yan manasa na manute. Yan manasa na manute. Yena urmano matam. Yena urmano matam. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. Nedam yadidam upasate. Nedam yadidam upasate. So here he says, Yat, that which, manasa, by the mind, na manute, it is never known by the mind. But yena, by which, ahuhu, they say, manaha matam, the mind is known. Tad eva, that alone is Brahma. Tad eva Brahma. Tvam vidhi, and that is you. Know that. Na idam, and not this. Yat idam, that which is worshipped here. So what one cannot feel with the mind, but because of which the mind feels, that alone is Brahman, and not this which people worship here. So now again, we will take this in 3 levels to see what we need to do with the mind. So at the karma level, what do we need to do with the mind? Karma yoga. You all know it already. Karma yoga. Why? Because it reduces the quantity of thoughts. How does karma yoga reduce the quantity of thought? Karma yoga is about being in the present moment. It's about getting lost in the process. So when we're engaged in action, can we fully be engaged in that action? Can our minds be fully there? Gurudev used to say, keep your mind where your hands are, right? Can we keep our minds fully in whatever we are doing? And if we do that, then the thoughts actually cease. We lose ourselves in action. And only Ishvara is found. The ego ceases. Ego ceases in Dharma Yoga. Ishvara is found. And in that action, there in itself is the reward. We don't need any reward after. Because in the action we lost ourselves. It was so beautiful, it's so grand. After that, it doesn't matter what people say, what people think, what people do. It doesn't matter. If you think of a great artist or musician, when they're singing and they completely just lose themselves in the song, it doesn't matter. People clap, they don't clap, people do this, do that. It doesn't matter. Because it's just so beautiful. In the action itself, they lost themselves. In the action themselves, they got the reward. So they don't need anything else. So what to do with that mind in terms what to do with that mind. In bhakti, chintanam, move to chintanam. From kirtanam, move to chintanam. Kirtanam is when we're singing. We're singing bhajans, we're singing out loud. This happens to us naturally. Oh, we're singing, we're clapping our hands, we're swaying, we're doing this. At some point in time, we just fall silent, isn't it? We just fall silent and our minds just go on a high. Chintana. And we're just there in a different realm. And all we're doing is just, we lost ourselves in that rhythm. We lost ourselves in that form of Bhagavan. We lost ourselves in that moment. So what to do with bhakti is make the mind take that form of Bhagavan, of Devi. Make the mind just take that form. Because as we think, so we become. So the quality of our thoughts, it changes. That's why in our culture, after a musical performance, we don't applaud. Because it's not for the audience. It's for Devi. Huh? Sound is supposed to take us to silence, not to more sound. So if we see Bharatanatyam, when they're performing, they're not performing for us. They're performing for Bhagavan, for Bhagavati. When people are singing, they're not performing for us. They're performing for Devi. So that, what to do with bhakti is go into Chintana. Let the mind just revel in that form, revel in that Bhagavan, Bhagavati, revel in that quality. Just let the mind get lost there. So the texture of the mind changes, the form of the mind changes. A simple Durga puzzle we did, the teacher's workshop. We did Durga puzzle. What happened there? Something subtle. Of course, we had a whole lesson in Sthane, everything is as it should be. But a subtle thing happened, that the mind took the form of Durga Devi. That is so purifying. Even if it's just a glance, the mind took that form. That's why in our culture also it says, be careful of what pictures we put in our homes. Because constantly the mind is taking that akar, it's taking that form, it's taking that form, it's taking that form. So in bhakti, chintana. Now what do we do in jnana? What do we do in jnana? Again, jnana is turning the direction of the thought. So one way is, how many of you have heard of Upadesha Sara? Right. So if you remember, there's a verse that says, Manasam tukim margane krite naiva manasam marga archavat. In jnana, the question is, what is the mind? Manasam tukim margane krite. You do this inquiry. And when you keep questioning the mind, what happens? It disappears. Naiva manasam. Marga arjavat. This is a straight path. So keep questioning, what is the mind? What is the mind? What is the mind? What is the mind? Keep questioning. What is the mind? Boom. The mind disappears. Remember in Chandogya Upanishad, I gave you the story of Mani Mama? You remember that story? Yes? That there was a wedding, and then there was this Mani Mama who was playing to the groom's side and then playing that he was part of the bride's side, but he was a no side. And then when they both started to inquire, who's this Mani Mama, he disappeared. Right? So in the same way, when we start to inquire, what is the mind? It disappears. So that's what to do with jnana. Inquire. Another thing to do with jnana is witness. Now see, the great thing about jnana is this. How many of us have felt sad at some point in time? Right? Okay. So, if we did not feel sad, that means we are not sad. Yes? Common sense. But if we felt sad, we are also not sad. Because who observed the sadness? Right? You know that you were sad. Means you're not sad. Means sadness is impossible. Sorrow is impossible. Why? Because sadness is a thought. And if I knew that I was sad, it means I experienced this. I knew this. And when I know something, it means I am different from it. I know this paperweight. Am I the paperweight? I know this pen. Am I this pen? I know this body. Am I this body? I know this thought of sadness. I'm aware of it. Can I be that thought? So guess what? We've never been sad. We've never ever been sad because Atma is Ananda. Right? So what to do with the mind is observe. If sadness is there, it's a thought. It's a thought. If happiness is there, it's a thought. It's not me. But which thought will stay? The one you feed. The one you feed. Huh? So imagine if somebody's coming to your house. Sadness thought is coming to your house. Don't open the door. Happiness thought is coming to your house. Welcome. Open the door. Have water. Have appetizers. I'll make a meal for you. I'll make lunch for you. I'll make so many things for you. Sit, eat, enjoy. So, happiness thought comes. Okay, if you want to entertain it, okay. Sadness comes. Shut the door. Shut the door. So with the mind, we can just witness. This thought is coming, let it go. This thought is coming, let it go. Witness. Life becomes sorrowful because we miscalculate. There was one businessman, very rich businessman, and lots of money he had. And one day he was crying. He was crying to his friend. I'm so sad, I'm so sad. The friend said, what happened? He said, I lost a lot of money. Friend said, but you're so rich. How did you lose a lot of money? He said, I lost a lot of money and I just couldn't sleep the whole night. I've just been crying and crying and crying. And then the friend said, show me your balance sheet. So show me what your statements, profit, loss statement, show me. Because the friend was an accountant. The friend started looking at everything. He said, hey, bye. You didn't lose anything. You miscalculated a number. Nothing happened. And that guy said, oh my God. I went through all of this sorrow for nothing. I miscalculated a number on the spreadsheet. So why are we going through sorrow? Miscalculation. I'm miscalculating that I'm the mind. That's all. I'm miscalculating. It's a wrong calculation. I'm the mind. But once I understand the right calculation that I am Atma, then sorrow cannot touch us. And at a deeper level, also joy cannot touch us. I did say you can entertain joy, but at a deeper level, even joy turns out to be sorrow because it goes, then it becomes sorrowful. So at the highest level, sorrow cannot touch us, joy cannot touch us. You are the witness self. Every time we are sad, it is only because we're miscalculating. That's all. The miscalculation. Get back, recalculate, and understand who you truly are. So this is how we're able to turn the direction of thought to the source of thought. Okay, now let us see the next mantra. Mantra number 6. Yat chakshusha na pashyati yena chakshugam shi pashyati Tadeva Brahmatvam Vidhi Nedam Yadidam Upasate Yat Chakshusha na Pashyati Yena Chakshugam Shipashyati Tadeva Brahmatvam Vidhi Nedam Yadidam Upasate. So here, Yat Chakshusha, that by which through the eye, na pashyati, means that which the eye can never see. Yena Chakshugamshi pashyati, but by which the eyes see. That which is not part of the eye, which enables the eye to see, but cannot be seen by the eye. Know that to be Brahman. Tad eva Brahma, that is Brahman. Tvam vidi, and that Brahman is you. Know that. Na idam yadidam upasate. And not this, what we see or what we worship as an object of experience. Again, we're seeing this in 3 levels. The karma level. How do we slowly make our way there? The karma level, learn to see goodness in all. Chapter 9, the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna tells Lord Krishna tells Arjuna that I am giving you this knowledge because you are anasuyu. You are not a fault finder. Many times we are fault finders. We don't know how to see goodness in all. In everything and everybody we find so much fault. One big wedding, they put so much effort for the wedding, to take care of the guests, to take care of all the accommodations, to take care of everything there. Oh, the food wasn't good. Did you pay attention to everything that they did? Huh? One nice stage play about Jayanta. Huh? Jayanta the crow and Sri Rama, so much effort that everybody's put in. Somebody will find some flaw in it. Did you see how those kids rehearsed, the preparation of the teachers, the dialogue, the values that they were learning? No, but this was not right. Certain people are fault finders. What we should do is become a fortune finder. Move from a fault finder to a fortune finder. Find fortune. Why are we unnecessarily finding fault? And that doesn't mean that we're not objective about things, right? We are objective, yes, everybody has limitations. We are objective, but don't focus on the limitations of people. And don't focus on the limitations of ourselves. Focus on those things which are great about people. Be a fortune finder. Some might say, no, this person, there is nothing good about this person. You have not met this person, there's absolutely nothing good. I think I shared this story in Chandogya, but let's share it again because it's a great reminder. There was in a village, they had a rule that we can cremate somebody only if somebody says something good about them, then their body can be cremated in that village. That was the rule. Otherwise, they cannot cremate. So there were these 3 notorious brothers. They were the most notorious brothers in the whole village. Any negative thing they did that was done in the village, it was them. They know, oh yeah, it's those 3 brothers. Oh yeah, it's those 3 brothers. Now, what happened was, the youngest brother passed away. Now, his body is there, and they want to cremate the body. The 2 brothers are there, they want to cremate the body. Cannot. Because the law of the village is what? To say something good. And he belongs to the notorious 3 brothers. So how do we cremate this body? What do they say? And all the villagers are feeling bad. We have to say something good, but we cannot think of anything good. So one person raised his hand and said, I know. Everybody looks at the person. What is good? I know something good. There are 3 brothers. Out of the 3 of them, he is the best. He's the best. He is the sweetest out of the 3 of them. They're all notorious, but out of the 3 of them, he is the sweetest. Still, they found something. This is what we call fortune finder. Somebody who's always able to find something good. Because how is this related to quantity of thoughts? Because when we think negatively about people, so many thoughts. That person comes in our mind all the time. I know where this person is right now. I know how this person is. I know that this person will do this. So many thoughts come about the person. So be a fortune finder. Now, how to do this in Bhakti Yoga? What to do with our eyes in Bhakti Yoga? Take it a level up. See God in everybody. Not only goodness, see God. See God. Oh, this person is like a Rakshasa. How do I see God in this person right now? Know that there's a reason that everybody has come into our lives. They are trying to teach us something. Each person that has come into our life is meant to come to our life. They're meant to be there. That is why they're there. There's a powerful lesson that they have to teach us. That's why they're beside us. So see that. And the clearer and the sooner we're able to see that, yes, this person is Bhagavan and this person is teaching me that, guaranteed we will overcome and learn from that lesson. We will grow from that lesson. See that this is Bhagavan. This is the lesson I need to learn. This is the lesson. This is the lesson. And you know what will happen? We will grow above and beyond that person. And it won't matter anymore whether that person's there or not. We will both grow through that such an extent that we have transcended that relationship. So see God in everybody. And what to do in Jnana Yoga. In Jnana Yoga, go from sight to insight. Go from sight to insight. See, if we have to draw a line, in the one of the initial lectures, if you remember, I told you we have a choice to go out or in. Instead of the eyes always going like this, let them just turn. So there's a line. You can go this way with your eyes and your mind, or you can go this way. So start trying to go this way. I know we're so used to going this way all the time. We're so used to it. It's a habit. So to ask us to make a turn is a little bit hard. But slowly we have to move from sight to insight. From this to this. And you will feel that movement. You will feel that movement when you're just moving within. There's a silence. There's a peace. There's a bliss. Because that's our nature, you see. Our nature is not talk. Our nature is just be. Right? So from Jnana Yoga perspective, Jnana, move from sight to insight. Okay, now we'll go to the next one. Mantra number 7. Yat shrotrena na shrunoti Yena shrotramidam shrutam Tadeva brahma tvam vidhi Nedam yadidam upasate Yat shrotrena na shrunoti Yena shrotramidam shrutam Tadeva brahma tvam vidhi Nedam yadidam upasate So, yat, that which shrotrena na shrunoti, it cannot be heard by the ears. The ears cannot hear it. But Yena Shrotram Idam Shrutam. But that because of which this is heard, or that because of which we are able to hear. Tadeva Brahma, that alone is Brahma. Tvam, and that is you. Vidhi, know that. Na idam, yad idam upasate. Not this which we worship as an object. That which is not part of the ear, which enables the ears to hear, but cannot be heard by the hearing. So what do we do in the level of karma? In the level of karma, we keep our ears around people who are doing seva. Be around those people who are doing seva. What does that have to do with ears? Because when I'm with people who are doing seva, who are doing service work, what we hear is much higher. What we hear is about the work, the dharma, the tasks to be done. It's about something meaningful. So keep the ears in seva. Keep it in the company of people who are doing meaningful work, and not useless work. Work that means something. Work that makes a difference. Keep the ears there. And in bhakti, how do I keep my ears in bhakti? Very simple. Katha, stories, songs, music. Keep listening. Now some of you have alarms in your house, suprabhata, like that, right? Keep the ears listening to katha. Because a simple story, a simple katha can just change our whole bhava, our whole feeling. There's this one story I like in Mahabharata about Vidurani. Vidurani. And there, Sri Krishna has to, he is there in the palace of the Kauravas, and Duryodhana asked him to eat in that palace. Come eat in this palace of Kauravas. But Sri Krishna said, no, I am going to the house of Vidura. I want to eat in the house of Vidura because he's pure. But meantime, Vidura had gone to the grocery because Sri Krishna is coming to the house, so he has to buy all of these things. So who's home? Vidurani. Vidurani is home. And so Sri Krishna knocks the door, and Vidurani is she's getting everything ready. She's not ready yet. And Sri Krishna enters. Now imagine if Sri Krishna comes to your house, how would you feel? Like, yeah, like OMG. Literally, right? So Sri Krishna comes, and Vidurani says, I have nothing to serve you, I have nothing to give you. Please just sit. And Sri Krishna says, it's okay, whatever you have, I'm hungry now. She said, but Vidura has gone to the grocery, and Krishna says, I'm hungry. So she said, okay, please just sit here and let me think of something to get you. I'll think of something. So she went to her kitchen and she found bananas. She found bananas and she said, maybe I can feed this to Sri Krishna. And she sat at his feet and she said, now I want to feed him because he's come to my house. And I'll feed him for the first time. And she peels the banana. And she is so entranced by Sri Krishna that what does she do? She feeds him the peel. And she throws the banana. And she's, peeling another banana. She's feeding him the peel and he's throwing the banana. And Sri Krishna is eating the peel. And meanwhile, Vidura comes. He opens the door and he sees this. He says, Vidurani, what happened? She says, what do you mean I'm feeding Sri Krishna? And he says, you're feeding him the peel. And she says, oh my God, what did I do? And Sri Krishna says, don't worry. I love the taste of the peel more than I love the banana. I love the taste of the peel more than the banana. Because it came from Vidurani's heart. And that's the kind of food I want. Not any other. Simple katha just touches our heart. And you can feel your heart also. It's in a different momentum. It's a different feeling. It opens. Katha has the power to open the heart. We might think it's simple, that the kids are doing Jayanta and the crows flying all over the place. But even that simple katha just opens their heart. Physically it does. So it makes a difference. Don't think that it's nothing. When parents read to their children at night, open Ramayana, open Bhagavatam, open a Purana, sit with them, read, and just let them get that bhava of hearing it. Once Puja Gurudev, was in Siddhabari, and one couple came, and they were from the south, and Guruji was giving lectures on Ramayana in Hindi. And so they were sitting with Gurudev, and Gurudev said, "Go to Guruji's lecture, why don't you go?" And it's in Ramayana, They said, "But it's in Hindi." Gurudev looked at them and said, "Go. You will hear the name of Ram. Just to hear the name of Ram, you should sit there." Because that's how precious his name is. There's a power in Katha. In the name of Bhagavan, there's a power. So the ear should listen to that. What is it in the level of jnana? The ears, we should hear Shravanam. We should hear these Vedantic teachings. We should hear these Upanishads. We should hear the depth of our Sanatana Dharma. We should hear who we are. Hear it. And not just with the ears, but with the heart. Because Shravana Matrena Jnanam Labhate. By hearing, you can get it. Like this. By hearing, if the student is prepared, if the student is tuned up, in that one verse of the teacher, enlightenment is there for the student. Just like that. So that Shravana is what we should do. And if we don't get that Mahavakya, what do we get by Shravana? We get the power to transform. What happened to Ratnakar? How did he transform to Valmiki? He heard. Narada Rishi said, "You are doing all of this theft and killing. Who is taking your papa? You're doing it for your family, but are they sharing in your sins? Go and find out." And when he found out that his families aren't going to share his sins, then he changed. What did it take? It took words from Narada. And Ratnakar changed to Valmiki. Here also, when we come to satsang, people transform. People make their beds in the morning. Yes? People transform. There's something that this Shravanam has transformative power. The topmost, it has liberating power. Second, it has transformative power. And the third is it has elevation power. It will elevate your mind to a different level of thinking just by hearing these words. Our thoughts start to change. And the whole dynamic starts to change because we've heard something so divine. So that's what we need to do with hearing. And some people might say, but this Vedanta is the same thing again and again and again. Every Upanishad, Tat Tvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi. I already heard it before. But did we change? No. Therefore, hear it again. Hear it again and again and again, because you and I never know what will trigger when. There's a trigger moment. When that trigger moment happens, we don't know. But that trigger moment is not a result of one lecture. It's a result of a build-up, a build-up, a build-up, a build-up, a build-up of lectures. Then that trigger came. So Shravana. Okay. Now, final mantra, mantra number 8. That is Yat pranena na praniti Yena prana praniyate Tadeva brahma tvam vidhi Nedam yadidam upasate Yat pranena na praniti Yena prana praniyate Tadeva brahma tvam vidhi Nedam yadidam upasate Yat pranena, that by which, by the vital air, na praniti, that by which the vital air can never breathe. But yena prana praniyate, that because of which the breath breathes. Tat eva brahma, that alone is Brahma. Tvam, that is you. Vidhi, know that. Na idam yadidam upasati. And not this, which is an object of our experience. So that which is not part of the breath enables the breath to breathe, but cannot be breathed by the breath. That is Brahman. Huh? So from the karma level, what can we do with prana? It's called SD. What's SD mean? Slow down. Relax a little bit. Slow down. We don't have to speed up anywhere. We don't have to rush. Huh? Slow down. Learn to just take things slowly. Because this is a path of stillness. It's not a path of rush. If we're rushing everywhere, moving too much, it's going to be difficult for us to get this. This knowledge comes in stillness. So with karma, slow down. Do just one thing at a time. Multitasking doesn't work, right? In case we didn't know it yet, it doesn't work. And we might think that, oh, let's be hyper efficient and try to do this and this and this and this. But guess what? Assimilation is not happening. AI and ChatGPT, we talked the other day, they might make us more efficient. But what are we assimilating? Nothing. We don't remember anything. We might have done so many things today, we don't remember anything. Nothing really touched us. Nothing is digested. So, slow down. Slow down. Relax a little bit. Take time to enjoy, to breathe. Life should be enjoyed. What we do is we tend to do too many things. Put the child in this class, then move the child to this class, then move the child to this class. And by the time the child's over, can you blame them? They're just so tired. We don't have to do that. What did we do when we grew up? When we were growing up, what did we do? One thing, we played, finished. And we're normal, right? We're not abnormal. We played. We went to school, and when we came home, we did one thing. We played like crazy. But we're stable. Our mental health is good. We're sane. We might not be like a super talented dancer, super talented singer, but we're sane. Right? So, it's perfectly wonderful to be sane instead of insane and anxious. We should raise our children to be sane. Sane. Okay, play. It's okay. So slow down. Camera, slow down. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to do too many things. It's okay. And in terms of Bhakti Yoga, with our japa mantra, we can also incorporate breathing for breathing before, breathing during, breathing after. But if we find that when we are chanting, our mind's getting distracted, use the breath to help. Use the breath to help. Because breath and the mind are connected. When the mind is fast, breath is fast. When the mind is slow, breath is slow. When we want to slow down the mind, slow down the breath. So breath and mind are connected. So with Bhakti, this is what we can do. Establish a rhythm of breathing and chanting. Breathing and chanting. And for jnana, prana, vikshana. Here we're no longer controlling our breath, we're just observing. Just observe. That's all. Observe the breath. Because then we become used to being awake, being a witness, being an observer. In the beginning, what will happen is called Sakshi Bhava. Sakshi Bhava means wherein we are observing as an action. It's the ego that's doing it. So I'm observing my breath, I'm observing my thoughts, I'm observing the sounds. It's the ego doing it. And it's when it's the ego doing it, it's called Sakshi Bhava. And we must get to this stage first. We must get to this stage first. After practicing Sakshi Bhava, the mind becomes so subtle to rest as Sakshi. And when we rest as Sakshi, it's not a thought of observing. It is just simply being. It's not a thought, it's thoughtless. It's wordless. It's just being. So these subtle practices help us to go into Sakshi Bhava, wherein we're an active observer, to where we are just Sakshi. We are just being. Very passive. And that's what this Upanishad aims to do. It aims to take us from the realm of the gross world to the subtlety that's beyond the world. To take us from the eyes to what enables it to see, from the ears to what enables it to hear, from the breath to what enables it to breathe, from the mind to what enables it to think. And it means, it aims to take us there and to make us realize that that is our nature. Place of rest, place of bliss, a place of pure being. That is what is called Brahman. And that is you. And it's not something outside that we have to search for. At some point, we have to stop being a seeker. We have to become a finder. And then just remain as we are. And let things flow. Let things flow. Okay? So with that, we've completed the last mantra. Let us just read the very first mantra. Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha. Kena prana pratama praiti yuktaha. Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti. Chakshushrotram ka udevo yunakti.
Chakshushrotram kaudevo yunati.
Okay. So we'll stop here. Yesterday I had mentioned that if anybody had any questions, we can spend some time on those questions. And then if there's a time remaining, we can sit quietly. So if anybody has anything that's lingering in your mind that you would like to be addressed, you can raise your hand. Yes?
At the bhakti level for prana, it was only use the breath, pranayama.
Use prana with your japa mantra, if we need to. You know, like Om Namah Shivaya. Exhale. Like that. You know, breathe in, chant, exhale. It's to help us with our mantra sometimes because mind gets all over the place. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Yes.
What's the difference between seeker and the finder?
Seeker and the finder. Very good. Seeker is somebody who is seeking the truth. I don't know this truth and I'm trying to seek it. Finder is somebody who has found the truth. I know what the truth is, I have found it. But we have to move also beyond that to just being. Not I have found the truth, I am the truth. So from seeker to finder, to just be. At some point, we have to stop seeking. I found it already. Stop saying, I found it already. But by saying, I found it already, now I am that. I found that. That's also a leap. Not I found it, I am it. That finding was just a game. It's a game. Hide and seek. That's all that's happening.
Same question.
Yeah, see, that's what it is. Any other questions or thoughts?
Sometimes pujas and rituals, pujas and homams and all these that we do are called rituals because they are. How do we make that shift so that we understand that these are also necessary steps for bhakti to lead us to jnana? If that is true, if that step process is true, is that step process true, or is it doesn't matter, bhakti to jnana? Is it more one and the same? Sorry, different times.
So see, bhakti is in different levels. So in the initial stages, that kind of bhakti is required. It's required. The rituals, the pujas, the homams, they're all required because they make the mind very subtle. So in those stages, it's required. After jnana, then it's para bhakti. Bhakti takes on a different meaning. It's seeing that truth in everybody and loving all. It takes on a different meaning. And upon realization of the truth, if one wants to do ritual, fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Because it's Brahman. It's Brahman alone. But at the beginning stages, it has a purpose. It's for chitta shuddhi. In the stages of enlightenment, it is just me reveling in it. Because you can't purify Atman. What are you going to do? Not purify it. Right? It's just reveling.
playing a role where we have to perform these pujas or rituals or ceremonies, then our attitude, action, shift, thoughts, mind, action, everything needs to be aligned when we are one with what we are doing, so that we have the awareness that it is Brahman.
Yes.
Is my understanding correct?
Yeah, but it's very natural. It is not like I have to make sure that I am Brahman and this is Brahman type thing.
Correct.
It's very, very natural. This is Brahman.
Because it can be outside, it has to be within.
Yeah. And that this is me. It's
Yeah.
very natural. Like that Nirguna Manasa Puja. That bhava is there. And this is me only. Yeah. Any other thoughts or questions? Yes.
So you mentioned about feeling alone in a party.
Yeah.
So that's the experience that I have gone through sometimes. So after 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, you feel like you do not belong there, you're not part of the conversation. And you mentioned the solution as go to the source of words. So can you expound on it a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So in a party when so many people are there, let us say, and after 10 minutes you're totally like, okay, this is not the place for me. Then go from the whole sound of the party, just trace your mind to that which makes that sound. What is it that makes that sound appear? This means you're gonna have to totally defocus from the conversation. So you have to be like almost a bystander. And just turn your mind towards where all sound is coming from. Where sound is coming from. It's almost like it's a meditative thing. You're just going to, okay, where is the sound coming from? Where is the sound coming from? And it'll take you inwards to that pure consciousness. And we can do it even in daily life. Let's say we hear the rustle of the leaves. Where is that sound coming from? Let me focus from the sound to the source of the sound. And get used to that. The thoughts coming. Where's a thought coming from? I see these eyes. I see these people. Where is that sight coming from? Just get used to that kind of meditative awareness. Way of pulling your attention. Don't do it for important conversations. Just a tip.
That's what I was thinking. If somebody asked me a question and I was not present there,
So that's why I said you have to be kind of aloof and on your own. You have to be like a madman in that party. You can't be engaged in a conversation and do it. You have to be like, I'm just gonna sit here and chill and do it. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah.
To move from Sakshi Bhava to Sakshi.
Yeah.
So if you're starting the practice of sitting quietly by ourselves,
Yeah.
so we keep observing as the ego eye the thoughts, and is there something else, or it just slowly then starts to drop? I mean, is there something else that we need to do to get to the Sakshi?
That's a good question. So, as the Sakshi Bhava, you're observing your thoughts, like I'm having this thought, I'm having that thought, I'm having that thought. What we have to do is, again, pull it in. I'm doing this so that we can kind of get a sense of it, but I'm observing this, I'm observing that. Pull even that in. Who's observing the observer? Who's observing the observer? Get that, have that thought and just pull it in. And what happens when we start to pull it in, the mind becomes silent. And that is Sakshi. When you start to just pull it in, mind becomes silent. Mind is silent, and that the witnessing is alone is there. Your words are not there anymore. Thoughts are not there anymore. Just being is there. So just try to keep pulling that attention in, pulling that attention. That's the art that we all have to learn. Just draw attention inwards. Especially when we are sitting quietly. Yeah. Any last final question? Shakti, any question? All clear for you? Yes. Okay. Samhita?
Could you just explain again what it meant by like when you're sad, you're not actually sad?
Sure, that's a great question. See, sadness is a thought. Yes? Right? So, if you know something, follow this carefully, if you know something, then you are not that thing you know. Okay? You get this? If you know something, then you are not that thing you know. So I know this paperweight. Am I this thing? I know this pen. Am I this thing? I know this book. Am I this thing? I know this body. Am I this thing? I know the thought of sadness. So am I that thought of sadness? No. Right? You are different from what you know. So therefore, even that sadness, because you know it, it's different from you. It's just a thought. So just watch that thought. It'll go away. That's very, very liberating when we're able to do that. Yeah.
So how about the opposite, happiness? So like I'm here, I'm feeling happy. Does that mean I'm not happy?
Yeah? It means you're not happy. The ego is happy, not you. Yeah. In the initial stages of seeking, a sattvic, happy ego is a great one. But in later stages, we even want to go beyond that. Because then the ego will keep seeking that. Yeah, I always want this, so I can be sattvic and I can be happy. That's not spiritual life. Spiritual life is I'm already there. Why go here to go there? I'm already there. Okay, yes.
But
What,
I
tell
know
me
I-
your name.
Anurag.
Anurag, yeah.
Yeah, but I know myself, and I am myself.
Well, you know yourself, and you are yourself. You think you are yourself. When you seek deeper, you will understand that you are not what you think you are. When you say you know yourself and you are yourself, you're referring to your ego. But there's something deeper to you than that. There's something deeper. There's something deeper than Anurag. There's something deeper than Anurag. That you'll have to get. Yeah.
So you're not sadness, you're not happiness, you are something beyond those. That is called Jivan Mukta, that person who is untouched by both of these.
Yeah, that person is called Jivan.
Jivan Mukta.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone else had their hand down.
Even though when you explain Bhava and Sakshi under Jnana, because that is a knowledge that we need to acquire. Sakshi Bhava and the Sakshi, is my understanding correct, that can be experienced when you're doing the karma and are performing karma yoga? It can also be experienced when you're performing bhakti yoga and also in jnana.
Yeah, they can be experienced in all three. All three. It's just the practice is a jnana
Yeah.
practice.
Mhm.
Yeah. All three.